Good evening, everyone. Welcome. We are Nutrition Smart in West Palm Beach. My name is Thierry. I'm the ex-founder of New Age Cafe located in Parkland, Florida. It was a RawFood restaurant that was serving people looking forward to better their lives with health and nutrition and also a well-being lifestyle. Because being raw food or vegan, it's not just a way of life, it is a lifestyle. There's a lot of things that goes around. So today is very exceptional day, guys. You decided to come here. There's maybe some other better things to do. Maybe watch TV or just go around, have a drink with some friends. But you decided to come here. There's a reason for it. You probably heard of many diets, many pills, many ways of eating. It's just very confusing. There's a lot of information out there. It's overloaded with information, I should say. It becomes confusing. I've done my research. It's been 12 years now. I'm an advocate for healthcare, well-being, and what I'm going to tell you tonight is nothing else than the divine truth that is in accordance of the law of the universe, of creation, because everything is energy. Dr. Thierry, who used to be a student from Albert Einstein, had 7 PhD. This is the type of people that I listen to. Dr. Brian Clement, the director of Hippocrates, dear friend of mine, who actually did the opening for the New Age Cafe in 2010. Don Dance, which is an alchemist that lives here in Florida. Dan Winter. There's many people out there in the world that have a lot to offer from the experience, from the learnings, that is not taught in school or in church, but is taught from word to mouth, from one generation to another. So what I'm telling you is something that comes from my heart, that I received the information communicating with the cosmic information, the cosmic rays. I don't know how to explain it, it just comes to me because of the lifestyle that I have. I'm going to explain to you very simple. Like vitality is what we are looking for. Vitality is life force. Vitality is nothing else than power.
Hey guys, is anyone back there parked in the fire lane?
Minus obstruction. Vitality is what makes, it gives you the energy to jump.
I'm sorry.
Yeah?
Is anyone back there parked in the fire lane?
Yes. You want to move it?
You are? Yeah, okay.
Yes. The power is the space between you and I. It's the ether, the life force energy. I'm going to explain to you something real quick so you understand what I'm talking about. You take a bucket of soil and you put 1 pound of soil in it. And you put a seed in it. You put some water. That plant is going to grow. Okay, this is an experiment. It's a scientific experiment. I'm not talking you some nonsense. This is very, very true. Let's say it took about a month for that plant to grow. That plant became 3 pounds. They did the experiment. They took the soil again and they weighed it. How much do you think the soil was weighed? It was exactly 1 pound.
For lunch.
It was the same weight that it was before the plant grew. What I'm saying to you is that we can grow things, not of what we eat. There's other energies that we can replenish ourselves. Food, I'm talking about food here, materialist food, is only 15% of our energy source. This is not our primal, most important resource of vitality. Sun is food. When you think about it, if there's no light in this planet, there will be no life. 3/4 of the sun is hydrogen. Hydrogen is a true source of energy. Oxygen is just a carrier. When you look at water, water is H2O, which is 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. 2 hydrogen from 1 oxygen. That means it's more important than oxygen. This is a water molecule, H2O. When you restructure the water, actually I should do this experiment right here. When you restructure the water, what I mean by restructure, because there's water and there's water. Not every water is the same. And it's been quite a challenge in the scientific world of water, because when scientists started to study water and came up with evidence that water has memory, they lost their jobs because nobody want to hear about it. Water, they take it for granted. It's available everywhere. Water is water. Don't talk about it. It took a gentleman called Dr. George Pollack about a year ago to decide to study water, but not just water, what's happening around it. When you jump in a pool and you go flat on it, you hurt yourself. Why? Because water is liquid. Why would you hurt yourself? There's something called this space between the water and the air called a surface tension or exclusion zone. It's also called liquid crystal that is negatively charged. Now I want to show you something very interesting. When you understand this, and I'm going to talk about the graph right away after that, when my sunflower seeds are soaking, then I'm going to do the sunflower pate. I bet you didn't expect to get all this information tonight, but I know. You're going to go home and you're going to be totally enlightened. You're going to pound yourself with thoughts, and it's going to change your life. I hope. This is the earth. The earth is negatively charged. Anything that grows out of the earth, like trees, flowers, animals, and us, are also negatively charged. Okay? The sun is positively charged. The atmosphere is positively charged. What does that mean? It means that when an apple falls down, you cut an apple in half, it becomes brown, it oxidizes. It actually starts to recycle to become something else. That's what Mother Earth does to everything that depletes. That's why an apple that is whole is not going to turn brown. When it's cut in half, that means some cell has been damaged. Because they are damaged, they are depleting. When Mother Earth sees something that's depleting, it gets rid of it. It recycles it to something else. That's why we start to shrink, we go down. And it's nothing else than a spin. Do we have that wood thing? I don't think so. That's okay.
I can go grab the wood.
I'm going to show you something. This is the first time I explain this. There's a lot of, every time I do a lecture, I explain something for the first time. There's just stuff that came to me today. A screw spins both ways. Clockwise, go down. Unclockwise, goes up. This is life, guys. There's nothing else. Every cell has a magnetic field in it that spins counterclockwise or clockwise. A healthy cell spins counterclockwise. Now you can look at the chart and you'll see the cancer cell. You see the cancer logo? The pink ribbon? Right over here? There's a pink button. The pink button that spins to the right is actually cancer. A cell that spins to the right is cancer. A healthy cell spins to the left. Now there's something about left. When you climb a bike or a horse or a motorcycle or whatever that is, do you climb for the right or do you climb from the left? Think about it. You climb from the left. All the racetracks, the cars, the horse, the dogs, racetrack, they all spin counterclockwise. Your DNA spins counterclockwise. The Earth spins counterclockwise. Our Milky Way galaxy spins counterclockwise as well. There's something about left spin. Left spin is life enhancing. Right spin is life depleting. As simple as that. So when someone tells you screw you, you're going to ask them which direction. Very easy, very simple. Health is very simple. You don't need to go get some PhD. Actually, doctors only have 2 credits on water. I know much more water than anybody else. I don't want to be vain or anything, but I studied water for a long time by Victor Schobara, who was a scientist that was hired during Second World War. He studied water and find out about what's happening with water. It has to be in the spin. When you flush your toilet, by the way, on the north hemisphere of the Earth, the water spins counterclockwise. It will spin clockwise on the south hemisphere. That's the magnetic field. So going back to water, and then I'll come back to this. There's 2 types of water. There's good water and there's bad water. The bad water is a water that is thick because it's weak. It's water that goes through pipes at 45 degrees angles because it comes down to your faucet. It's water that goes from flush to faucet in a shorter period of time as we go with pollution, more population. We add 300,000 people every day on this planet. More people means more pollution, means more chemicals and all that. It means a shorter amount of time to filter and purify the water that goes from flush to faucet. The water is meant to be in circular motion because everything spins. You look at a snail, for example, the snail shell, you'll see it spin like this, correct? If you let go your nail, it will start to spill out. Right? Everything spins. There's no straight line in nature. Find a straight line in your body, you won't find any. So when the water is weak, that means it's been stressed because it went through pipes at 45 degrees angles. Because in nature, there's no such thing. Water falls down to mountain springs, in rivers, it curves, it spins, it swirls, it vortexes, right? It falls down. The wave crushing into the shore creates a vortex that follows the laws of the universe, which is the golden ratio. You probably heard of Fibonacci sequence. So when water goes through this stress, it becomes thick. It loses its energy. The bond between the hydrogen weakens to 104 degrees. And there's a way you can restructure it, put it back to spin. All the blenders, by the way, spin counterclockwise. Again, milk and yogurt manufacturers will spin the product counterclockwise before they distribute it. Because if you will drink milk or yogurt straight out the cow, you will vomit out. You cannot digest it because it spins clockwise naturally. So when you restructure the water, that means water comes out of mountain springs. That would be the best water for us at 6.5 to 6.9 pH. Acidic, by the way, not alkaline. Cancer cells is alkaline. Healthy cell is acidic. We have 13 pH levels in our body.
I thought it was the other way around.
Everybody thinks so. Because like they say, everybody say cancer cannot survive in oxygen-based environment, cannot survive in alkaline environment, correct? But what is the best food for us? It's lemon. Lemon is 2.8 pH. Think reverse. Forget everything you know, start fresh. You are born again tonight.
So you don't want your water to be alkaline?
You don't want your water to be alkaline. First of all, it's neutralized by the gastric acid, 2.5 pH. The only thing that water ionizers do is they restructure the water. They split the molecules in half. It makes the water thinner. That means a more profound hydration, a better delivery of the water to your cells and tissue to rejuvenate. The problem with those water ionizers is when you charge water with electricity, you charge the contaminants with it. People in Arizona have a lot of arsenic in the tap water. When they charge the water with those Kangen machines, they charge the arsenic, they go to the hospital, but they won't tell you that in their demos. Again, a cancer cell is alkaline, a healthy cell is acidic. If you drink alkaline water, you damage your body.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, start all over again. So the best water is water that comes. Yeah. People who drink Kangen water, they feel better. The reason why is because they drink thin water and they drink more water. They didn't drink as much water before. We need water. We're 75% of our body is water. You know, our brain is 90% is water. So we need that. But there's two types of water. That's what I'm explaining to you. 104 degree bond between the hydrogen, this angle here. This is a weak water. When it's weak, it has to get with another one and another one, another one. And it creates a cluster, okay, a cluster, a water unit that has 15 molecules in it. And when it goes into the body, it's too thick to go into your cells and tissues. So you cannot deliver what it's supposed to, which is the oxygen, the hydrogen, the minerals. But the water that comes out of mountain spring, mountain, by the way, is a huge magnet. So water that comes out from the center of the mountain goes up and it comes out here. It's very thin. This water is actually 120. degrees between the hydrogen cell. So it's actually extended. When it's 120, you unlock the potential of the hydrogen. That means you empower the water. You release the hydrogen power to your body. And that's what we're looking for, is the hydrogen. Same thing with plant-based living foods. Do you understand? I'm not going to go too deep on that. I'm just going to let it go. But
You've already blown my mind. I don't know anything else.
now there's something about eating fresh living foods. Everything is cationic. Cationic means positively charged. We need to make a balance with ionic food. Ionic food is lemon. Lemon is acidic. Because all they talk about alkaline diet, you probably heard, eat almonds, eat cow and all that stuff. It's good, but if you eat too much of this food, it's not going to be, first of all, if your body is still stuck with accumulated waste that you had since you were born because your parents didn't know any better, giving you meat, food, dairies, and processed foods, the body cannot absorb the nutrients. It's just a waste of money buying all this food at Whole Foods. Just clean your gut first. Let's say trust your gut. Clean them first. That means slow down, start too fast. Give your body a chance to eliminate this waste. Because when you stop eating, you actually give the body the chance to heal itself. We don't have to eat 3 times a day. What is breakfast? Breakfast is breaking the fast. Fasting is nature's remedy to heal yourself, by Professor Arnold Ehret, who wrote this book, The Mucusless Diet Healing System. Please buy one. It's $3 on Amazon. So, like I said, vitality is nothing else than the power minus obstruction. When you eliminate obstruction, that means that your body doesn't have anything stuck in it, that it can absorb all the nutrients that you put into it. That means plant-based living foods. Now your body functions properly. You see? So when I was talking about lemon, lemon is anionic. Anionic means negatively charged. All the food that you buy and purchase is cationic. When those two cells get together, they create a friction against each other. The more charge, the more power, the more friction, the more energy you get. That's how you get the energy. So implement lemon to your diet, to your lifestyle. It's very important. Also, lemon contains chloride acid, which is the same acid as the liver. When you drink fresh squeezed lemon, not the concentrated, squeeze lemon fresh, you actually empower the liver to create natural enzymes, up to 1 billion, that will empower the other organs. Everything flows naturally, much better. And again, this is acidic, that has alkaline properties. So,
I'm sorry, thank you for clarifying. So it is acidic, but once it has the properties of an alkaline product, once
correct.
it goes through the digestive tract.
Because the body takes something and converts it into something else. You don't need protein to make protein. This is false. If you think that, and you believe that a cow needs to drink milk to make milk, is that the case? No, it's not. The cow drinks water, eat herbs, and then make milk, because the body converts. It's called ionization. Actually, bioionization, ionization, from Dr. Thierry again. Thierry invented this tool. This is called a refractometer or a brick spinner. You put drops of the food that you want to see the quantity to get the nutrition value. You look it through the light, and there's a scale inside that goes from 0 to 30, and you follow a chart. So you know if the food that you're buying has nutrition in it, or if it's low. This is a great way to purchase foods nowadays.
Wow.
So this is from Dr. Thierry, genius guy.
Refractor?
Refractometer, or bricks meter. You find that on eBay, $40. So what I'm going to show you here is about antioxidants and free radicals. Everybody heard about antioxidants, blueberries, blackberries, acai. We understand the tea, you know, the green tea, but we don't exactly know why does it work. I'm going to explain to you very simple. A free radical is an atom that's missing electrons around it. It's very unstable. So when the free radical goes into your body, the first thing it does is search for electrons. So it's going to grab any healthy cell in your body, steal an electron from it, and then it can survive and thrive. Now your healthy cell is missing an electron. It's like a zombie. It became a free radical. And it creates a domino effect. Now this free radical is going to search for them, and it goes on and on and on. That's how you accelerate the aging process. That's how you become sick. Free radical is the worst thing you can do to your body. The earth is negatively charged. Negative, like the lemon, is antioxidant. This is antioxidant, this is free radical. The air is free radical. That's what's going to help the apple to turn into something else, to recycle. When someone is depleting, that there's no life, there's no love, the most powerful energy in the whole universe. Be loving, caring, compassionate, and grateful to one another. Brothers and sisters, we're all the same. You don't understand me, I don't understand you. I equal stand you. So we want to stay connected to nature. We want to ground ourselves. You've probably heard of grounding, earthing. Walk barefoot in nature. That's why I walk on the beach and run on the beach so much. You're actually in the water. Salt water is conductive, very conductive. We are very fortunate to live by the beach, so take advantage of it. Walk barefoot on the beach. Conduct yourself. Absorb those electrolyte negative ion charge to your body to replenish and provide the electrons from the free radicals that from the food that you eat or the beverage that contains all those toxins. If you take medicines, supplements and all that. I mean, I'm sorry, not supplement. Not the wrong place to say that. But I would say meds, right? There's nothing. This is man-made stuff. It's not meant for our body. The only thing that a medicine will do, it will create ADR, which is called advanced drug reaction. And that's what's going to happen to your body. And if your body is stuck with accumulated waste, it cannot function. You cannot absorb those things, which is good in some ways. But when you start to heal yourself by fasting, for example, those chemicals go back to your bloodstream and create very damaging health alignment. So please read this book before you consider fasting. Because I don't know what your health status is right now. But if you have too much toxins, and especially poison from meds, you want to consult a doctor and be very careful with that. So when you ground yourself walking barefoot, or just lay down on the park, get down close to the floor, like bare floor, grass, beach, whatever that is. There's another way you can do. You can actually ground yourself at night, because when you sleep on the bed, you're actually off the ground, right? And usually the bed's usually upstairs. So you can actually, I don't know if I brought one here. You can actually, they sell that online. It's called padding, grounding, earthing paddings that you can put on the bed sheet, and you plug it into the electric plug. But of course, you don't plug it to the positive and neutral. You plug it to the ground. Okay? And what's happening is your house is grounded with a huge copper wire that goes down deep, 6 foot down. So you actually ground yourself while you sleep, and that's a beautiful thing. And amazing thing, you wake up in the morning, you feel totally rejuvenated, and you actually remember your dreams better too. You actually lucid dream. So I highly recommend that. You understand about free radicals and antioxidants? Does that make sense to you? Very important, isn't it? All right, so any questions before I do the food demo? Or maybe I can talk to you about the chart here.
Let me ask you, I'm sorry, mine's problem. What do you think about consuming salt water, ocean water?
Oh, it's good. It contains a lot of minerals. But the thing is, we are freshwater creatures, not ocean water creatures. So the elements that you find in the ocean water is not the proper proportion for us. But yet, ocean contain ormus, which is a life force, energy, chi, prana. I mean, water is amazing. Our planet is called blue planet for a reason. Water can actually transmit and emit, receive information. It is receptive of information. Water has memory, water is living. You can actually alter the water molecule just with the power of the sun. Anybody heard about Dr. Emoto studies? Have you heard of Dr. Emoto, madam? He made a study. He flash froze water and they became snowflakes. He looked under a microscope and put two different types of feelings. The first one was hate. I hate you, I'll kill you. The water molecule, the snowflake started to destroy itself and melted away. Then he did the same thing with a snowflake sending love. I love you, you're beautiful. The snowflake actually crystallized and became sharper and sharper. If the thought can do that to a snowflake, imagine what it can do to you, because you are 75% of water.
So it actually has life properties that it can interpret this type of energy.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Water here. Water is living. Everything is living. The earth is living. Okay, I'm going to share something with you, very, very, very powerful. When the tree becomes sick, it creates seeds that become sick. Now, earth doesn't want to duplicate a sick tree. So the earth senses when the tree is sick. And you know what it does? It sends a frequency signal to the tree that is received by the bark beetles, all the insects with the antennas, and they go to that tree and they destroy it. This is how Mother Earth protects itself from disease. People have all these stories in California about bark beetles. They're trying to eliminate them. Don't eliminate. This is nature's way to protect itself. There's nothing wrong with that.
So in conclusion, it's good to consume the ocean water in moderation?
Yes. Yeah.
It's
When you
full
go
of
swim,
toxins.
drink a bit of it.
A little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ocean water is very salty. It's very conductive, which is very good for us. We need that conductive. But most importantly, it contains a huge amount of forms, which is called orbitally rearranged monatomic elements, or monatomic state elements, also known as philosopher's stone or chi or primal life force. I use modern alchemy to harvest those elements actually from pure ocean water and bring them into a concentrated form, which is those are elements that are superconductive. When you drink them, they work as superconductive elements that help the cells to communicate better with one another. They actually also feed the microtubules in the brain, which is the source of consciousness. Now you can receive more of subtle energies and convert them into via life force. And that's why I can eat one banana or one mango a day and have all this energy. Because our body is designed to be able to absorb extra type of energy, convert them. If your body is obstructed, it cannot do that. Especially when the pineal gland, for example, is calcified. Your chakras are shrinked because there's incoherence. This is nothing else than incoherence in your body. So when you bring back coherence, which is nature, structured water, plant-based living foods, uncooked. Because when you cook food, you alter the enzymes, the life force, the vitamins, and everything. So you can steam things, keep it below 118 degrees. So you keep the enzymes. Enzymes is so important for us to digest.
I have a question. What kind of water should we be drinking then?
Well, this is nature bottle. This is a liquid crystal called Adia Clarity. This is made from black mica, also known as biotite, which is a rock that you find in Mount Fuji in Japan that contains all the minerals from planet Earth. And a dear friend, actually I work with him, Matt Bacos in Michigan, used hyperbaric chamber to compress with that oxygen those rocks to convert into liquid. So this is what's happening. You put 1 teaspoon of this
Vitamins, you have
in
a
1
call
gallon.
holding on Park 1. Vitamins, Park 1.
I'm going to put a little more of this in here. And I'll show you what it does. I should have done before.
So you buy spring water, purified water,
Yeah,
distilled water?
Yeah, distilled water is good, but the problem is a little bit too powerful because it doesn't contain anything. And it's so powerful that it actually sucks the minerals out of your body. So you don't want to stay away from distilled water unless you add minerals to your distilled water. Distilled water is great because it doesn't have contaminants and chemicals. It's voided of everything. So the best would be to start with pure water, clean water, I would say spring water, and add this into it. What this does, this is nature's way to purify itself. This is Dora in ionic state. Let me explain this to you. This is very important to understand. When the plant grows, it takes the minerals of the soil, which is in colloidal minerals. You probably heard of that. They are supplements, they probably sell them here, in liquid, tablets, pills. When you do that, you actually poison yourself with heavy metals. It's like you chew on sand. It cannot be dissolved, it's too big. That's why we don't eat dirt. We eat plants, we eat both. Because when the plant absorbs those colloidal minerals, they convert them into ionic minerals. And the difference between them is 10,000 times the size. So this is like chewing on salt. It can dissolve in your body. This cannot dissolve. You probably heard of colloidal silver, the blue man, Papa Smurf, who passed away actually a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
Yeah, he passed away. And they find out that the colloidal silver was not that great after all. It's just too big. It cannot cannot penetrate. The liver cannot work with it, so it sends it back to the skin. That's why it turned blue.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So ionic is angstrom size. Colloidal is atomic size, 10,000 times the size difference. That's a big difference. This is angstrom size minerals, ionic minerals, the same size as plants. So when you drink 1 teaspoon of this per day, it's like you eat 25 pounds of organic fresh vegetables. And even organic doesn't mean that you have all the minerals in it. Organic means that they use less pesticides. They still use it, but they just use less.
So we can eat it, colloidal energy, food, minerals, in the plant, but if we try to eat it straight, it will make us sick.
No, you don't eat it from the plant.
Right.
The plant is ionic.
Oh.
The coil is in the soil. We don't eat soil. We don't eat the roots. Actually, the root is actually the plant, which is ionic. But the coil is from the soil. Those coil minerals are in the soil. You see? So we don't eat soil. We eat plant-based foods.
Well, I have a neighbor who swears by azomite. Do you know what azomite is?
Yes, azomite. Actually, I have some
He gets
here.
the powder and he mixes it into water and he drinks it.
You don't do that.
I keep telling him, I
Yeah,
don't think
this
that's
is
right.
colloidal.
Now you're helping me.
Azomite is for soil. It enriches the soil with 70 minerals that the body can take and convert them into ionic minerals.
He made my tree live, but I tell him he's killing himself.
Yeah, you don't eat azomite. It won't penetrate in the cell. The body cannot
Can
utilize
you
it.
kill him?
I'm
He's
sorry?
taking like 3 tablespoons of water every morning.
Well, it's just going to be utilized as food. It's like she's eating dirt.
But it'll go right out of him, it won't hurt him anymore.
Yeah, it won't do
Okay.
anything to the body at all. Azomite is good for soil, to convert, for the plant, the root, to convert into ionic minerals. That's the size minerals that we are looking for. So this is ionic minerals. So tell me about this. When you put this in the water, first to restructure the water, you actually strengthen the hydrogen bond to 120 degrees. And when you do that with the water, I see you guys are very interested, so if you don't mind, I'll share a little bit. And is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. When you have a molecule of water that's straightened out to 120 degrees, it clicks together with other ones and creates hexagonal shaped water. Okay, I'm going to pick another color. So this is the oxygen. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Forget about this one. So this is hydrogen. So does that resemble to something to you? Does it look like a snowflake? The snowflake is pure water. It's a 120-degree bond between the hydrogen and the water. So when you have a water that is clipped together, 120, it creates this hexagonal shape. This is a structure that the body can recognize as a coherent, intelligent information to convert into a vital life force. Light from the sun is a source of energy. Light from the sun is an intelligent, coherent information as well. Not this type of light. This type of light actually sucks the energy out. And that's the type of light they use at schools and hospitals to heal people and teach children. There's a lot we can do in this planet, you know. I mean, I've been learning since I was a child because school never made sense to me, church never made sense to me. So I had questions nobody could answer. And I was very frustrated because at school I was daydreaming. I was looking outside at the birds. That's what was motivating me, not what they were talking about. So I had a hard time in my life. I certainly was not able to talk in an audience. I was so shy. So it took me a lot of courage because when I learned the truth, I couldn't help to share. And that's why I'm here today, is to share what I've learned. It's amazing. Amazing. I mean, I'm not stopping. I'm just going forward and forward and forward. Reaching out more and more people. So the restaurant was a great tool to get out there and show people what I can do, what everybody can do. Because I know other special than anybody else. We're all the same people. We all come from planet Earth. We all eat and drink the same elements. You know, we all breathe the same air. It's the question is the passion, it's the love, the motivation that inspires us to do more. And that's what we're looking for, is to drive the spark of light within you that can awaken you to have the desire to learn and share. Because we live in a society now, we are moved. We still believe in the system that was based 2,000 years ago. We are shifting. You heard of 2012, right? There was nothing else that the Mayan calendar that ended that's starting a new one. Basically what happened is this is the Milky Way galaxy. We're on the male energy and we shifted to the other side. Now we're on the female energy. Ladies, you are more powerful than males. The frequency energy of the female is more energy than male, 0.002 millivolts.
Let's play for my wife.
Yeah.
So we get more bossy now.
It's really funny.
Guys, they have to humble down, you know. Let go of the ego. We live in a society that is a left-brain society. That's why I'm a right-brain thinker. You know, I daydream. The right brain is creative, imaginative. The left brain is what gives you the analogy, the logic. That's what helps you to do math and speak, you know, the verbal. And we live in a left brain society, so everything that's based with materialistic, you know, competition and all that, it's something I don't resonate well. So see someone driving a Ferrari and have a beautiful house doesn't impress me. What impresses me is knowledge. Knowledge, a healthy man nowadays is not considered of how much money he has in his wallet, but how he can capture a woman's heart. Do you agree with me? So I have hope because I know everybody have, you know, everybody is loving and caring. And everybody I know have the spark, and that's why you're here tonight, to learn something that you already know. Because when we're born, we know everything. It's just the society that makes us, that limits our minds and believing in something else that is not true. The bigger the lie, the more people believe. You agree with that? There's a truth out there that you already know. What I'm telling you is not something new to you. It's something to confirm what you already knew. Does that make sense?
I've already learned 3 things tonight that I asked God about.
Yes.
Boom.
It clicks. It's a code.
It's amazing.
Everything is energy. Everything is frequency. Dr. Karim said, it's not about the food that we eat. It's about the energy in it that we can assimilate. If your body is obstructed with accumulated waste since you were born, you cannot absorb those nutrients. You have to eliminate first. That means fasting. Give your body a break. If you can fast for a long period of time, fast 1 day a week. After 7 years, you'll fast 1 year. And you'll see the change. He says that he did not recognize some people after fasting for a few weeks or a few months, or even a year. It changes your life. Vitality is nothing else than power minus obstruction. When you eliminate obstruction, everything flows. The blood can flow naturally to every place in your body. So I want to talk to you about this chart real quick. Ladies, would you like to grab a chart and follow us? Would you like to fast one?
Let me ask I have one question.
Yes.
Before, not to interrupt. When you mean fasting exactly, you mean just to purely go on without any type of intake or specific raw intake?
Not necessarily raw. It means any food that is not meant for us, like processed food, man-made foods, meats, and dairies.
Okay, perfect. That's what I had in mind. Just
Yeah. Milk is the worst thing you can do to your body. It's the hardest thing to digest. Milk is for cows. I mean, cow's milk for cows. Dog's milk is for dogs. There's no difference. There's one animal and animal. You drink dog milk? No, you drink cow. Why? Which do you pet? Which do you eat? Why? Think about it.
What about a cat that was nursing a dog?
I'm sorry?
I saw a cat once that was nursing a kid that was nursing a dog because the mother was dead.
Well,
That was tight.
that's amazing, isn't it? Nature. Love it. Well, milk contains HGF-1 hormone. It's human growth factor 1. That's what makes a 60-pound cow become a 600-pound cow. And when you give that to kids, they grow super fast. we wonder why they grow so fast, right? Right, that's why. Also, milk contains casein, 80% of it. Casein is used by labeling furnitures as a binder, as a glue, actually. Casein is glue. So when you drink that, it creates mucus, of course. Mucus is inflammation. Mucus is the source of all inflammation. Inflammation is all source of all diseases. When you don't have mucus in your body, you're free of disease. What I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight, this is a way for you to free yourself from all suffering, from disease, any type of disease, even in the head. ADHD, all those lack of memory is nothing else than a compression of gas that started from the gut, from the saturation and fermentation of the wrong food. That is just stuck there, the body cannot digest, cannot eliminate. When you put food on top of that, over and over 3 times a day, it saturated the body that it cannot eliminate itself. So when you fast, to answer your question, you give the chance to your body to eliminate those wastes. So, you might get dizzy and stuff, then you go back to the food to eat meat, and then you feel better, and you blame it on the meat to say to yourself, that's what is good for me.
So when you're releasing all those toxins,
Exactly.
your fat cells, that
Exactly.
eventually makes
So you have to go beyond that. You have to be very courageous. And if you have a doctor, for you doctor, I'm not a doctor. So the chart here, there's three tables. The first one is called the Berg's table. That's what Professor Arnold Ehret in his book mentioned about. There's food that makes mucus, and there's food that eliminates mucus. Is that extraordinary? So if you have a choice, do you want mucus in your body or don't want mucus? So this is the food chart of food. What this is for you to be inspired. You don't have to agree 100% to it. We kind of give you an idea of what type of food creates more mucus than others. Then the next one is called the Bovis scale by Andres Bovis, 1936. The Bovis scale is a life force energy scale. And you see in the middle, the equilibrium is 6,500 angstrom. Anything below that is considered as depleting or illnesses. So I put the food there, steaming, cooked food, grilling, and pressure cooking. Because pressure cooking is the highest heat. Grilling is higher than steaming. So the more you heat, the more you cook, the more life force energy you destroy from the food. And then you have boiled water, tap water, milk, and soda. Soda is 1,000 bovis. So when you drink soda, you actually generate a right spin to your cells. That means you promote cancer. You feed your cancer. Everybody has cancer in our lives, 6 to 7 times in our lifetime. It's a question of how we feed it, or if we don't feed it. Everything is a choice. When you become educated, you get knowledge, you get equal standing, and you can make better choices for yourself and the people that depend on your life. That's called wisdom. Every vote is a purchase, ladies and gentlemen. And then above 6,500 is considered as life-enhancing or well-being. So you see, fresh living food, sprouts, wheatgrass juice is the highest we can get, 9,500 bovis. There's nothing above 10,000 bovis in this dimensional level. It's considered the ethereal range or the place of power that you find in certain substances like field beds. That's why I brought them here. This is called magnesium oxide. This is nature's way to raise the vitality to 400,000 bovis. This is amazing stuff. I sell these $5. If you go online, this will be sold for like 20. So I recommend you buy one of these, and you open it and you put it in the bottom of a container, and you let it sit for 12 to 24 hours. What it does, it restructures the water, it creates that 120-degree bound in the hydrogen, and also revitalize the water to 400,000 bovis, which is very healing. You can imagine when you drink this type of water.
How long does it last? How many gallons can you get?
This will last about 3 months if you use it every day.
Does it help a lot with also osteoporosis?
Absolutely. Osteoporosis is nothing else than calcification, right, of the bones, which is chloroforms or calcium in the water. You know, when you take a shower, your skin absorbs everything, right? You can stand barefoot on garlic and you will taste the garlic within 3 minutes in your tongue. Your skin absorbs everything, it has pores. I'm actually absorbing water right now as you are. We're actually drinking because there's water and there's moisture in here. So, you know, osteoporosis and all that, It's just calcification of the joint. This contains boron, which decalcified the bones, the joints. Decalcify the pineal gland as well. Because when they put water, when they put fluoride in the water, you know fluoride is not good for you, right?
Fluoride.